It started a chain. And it's like it made my day. And you just never know how people's days are going. And you do something special like that, an act of kindness. Oh, my God. It's Friday. Do something like that. Put a smile on somebody's face. Pay for a perfect stranger. You don't have to be rich to do it. You can pay for somebody's meal at Denny's or wherever you're going. And somebody with children, you could see a single mother or something like that. You can always see. But make a difference. Be positive. Be the answer. It's what you want to do. By the way, doctors are saying, researchers at New York University Lagoon Medical School, School of Medicine, very fascinating news, said in an interview that people who temporarily died are aware that their life has ended and might be able to hear a doctor announcing their death. Scientists at the New York City school told the Independent newspaper that they've been studying patients who suffered cardiac arrest but have been revived. These doctors say that some survivors recall vivid conversations that went on around them, even several minutes after they were pronounced dead. The paper defined death as the stage where the heart no longer beats and blood flows to the brain, cuts off. Live Science reported that the cerebral cortex also slows down instantly within 2 to 20 seconds flatlines. You lose all your brainstem reflexes. Dr. Sam, Pima, director of the critical care and restorations at the school, he was telling the paper your gag reflex, your pupil reflex, all that's gone. The evidence reportedly suggests that a surge of brain activity immediately after a near-death experience. What tends to happen is that people who had these very profound experiences may come back positively transformed. They become more aware, more engaged with helping others. They find a new meaning to life and had an encounter with death. Parma said, but there isn't any sudden magical enhancements of their memories, he said. He says, that's just Hollywood jazz. But your brain knows that you died when you die. I would think, gosh, duh, you can feel it. Many people have said it. But my grandfather, when he was in a coma, everybody said he couldn't hear, he wasn't going to come back, he was going to die, and all this other stuff, and I remember this vividly. He never died. They said he was going to die. They all wrote him off, and I said prayers with a lot of family members, and he got out of the hospital and lived many more years and died in his home. And he suffered a pretty good heart attack, and they said that most likely he had brain damage and all this other stuff, and then when he came to, there was no brain damage. And his heart wasn't as sick as they said he was. Now, he was all blown up like a basketball. I mean, he had, you know how people blow up after, heart problems and things like that. And that did not look it didn't look good by any means. But if you ever have a loved one that is in a coma or unconscious for whatever health reasons, don't be writing them off and talking about the cremation process or burial and worms and wills and dividing the spoils and all that other stuff in the hospital room, because he heard the conversations. He repeated them back to us. He remembered. And he remembered me saying, hey, Grandpa probably can hear us. And I remember him telling me, I remember when you said that and that you said pray for him. He could get out of this. And he most likely is hearing, and he heard all the conversations, even though his eyes were closed. His brain was awake. So don't write people off. And listen, it's not over until God says it's over. When God pulls the plug, he pulls the plug. I'm convinced of that. And I've seen that so many times, even with my mother-in-law. She just passed away not too long ago. People wrote her off, I don't know how many times. I mean, she in and out of the hospital for so many things through the years. And she'd bounce back every single time when they said month, she's dead. 2 weeks, any day. And over a year and a half, 2 years later, she's still alive. Her organs started failing, and that was the end of that. She was in, get her blood, cleaned and all that other stuff, and that's a rough process. But it kept her alive for a little bit more. Oh, man, I miss her. Especially with Thanksgiving coming up, that's going to be tough. The holidays, they say, are always difficult, but I loved inviting her over. because I do the cooking for Thanksgiving. And it was just nice to see her enjoy, and then her kids, my daughter, and my other two that I raised since they were 4 and 5. But this will be a very tough one, so trying to deal with that. And I know many of you have been through it, and I appreciate so much the condolences for so many when I announced her passing. But we were praying for so long, and believe me, she held up, she held on. She got to see 2 of her granddaughters. So that was a big blessing. And when you're able to do that, that was a good thing. And we were hoping for that, and it happened just that way. And she got to spend some good quality time with both of them before she passed away and got some great pictures. And we have Grandma. We called her Bila. Some call her Abuela, but we all called her affectionately Bila. She's in a pretty urn, colored purple with some nice flowers and a nice picture above it. And a nice curio cabinet with a light, and it looks very beautiful. And we miss her, but we know that she's in a better place. She's resting, and she's not in pain anymore. That's a good thing. So prayers for loved ones in hospitals. And if you're sick yourself, we pray for you. If you're going through problems, we pray for you too. And we appreciate you tuning in to For the People. Please share the show if you like the show. Remember, we're listener-supported. Your donations keep us on the air. ForThePeopleShow.com. All the best. May God bless.